mindset is everything and you do have the power to turn a bad day into a better day. Hello, welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about how mindset is everything. I have really been thinking about this a lot in the past few days because there has been quite a lot going on. It's been a bit overwhelming. There have been times where I feel like I could either be overwhelmed or I can decide to try and see the good in a situation. It's not even necessarily that it's like a bad situation. I just wanted to talk about this because I've been really trying to work on it, and I think I have some insights that could help you and could illustrate the fact that mindset is everything. You have the power to not change your reality, but it's to do with the way that you frame things or the way that you interpret things. So you can't always control what's happening. You definitely can't control what other people are doing. There are so many things that we have no power over, but one of the things that you do have power over is your mindset. It's kind of like acceptance mixed in with not nihilism, trying to bring like more curiosity as opposed to anger or dread, if this is making any sense. Say you have in your mind, this is what I'm doing today, and then your plans get disrupted or people show up or things are just happening that you have to deal with. That can be really frustrating because it's disrupting something that you'd planned. But instead of feeling that anger or frustration, you can get curious about that situation. Be like, why am I reacting in this way? Or you can be like curious in the sense of, okay, I didn't have this day planned. This isn't what I thought was going to happen today, but let's see where this goes. Like, try and approach it with more of like a fun, or at least like more of a laid back attitude. I kind of picture it as like having two paths in my head. So like I could choose to go down the path of, this is an awful day, I'm having an awful time, I'm really overwhelmed, I'm tired, you know, focusing on the negative emotions that I am feeling. Like, I can feel tired, I can feel annoyed, but I don't have to just go down that path. But the other path would be like, yep, this isn't what I thought was going to happen, but I'm going to try and make the best of it, lean into whatever's happening, and kind of playing off the idea of act the way you want to feel, or the idea that discipline comes before motivation, and sometimes you don't have the motivation to act. So it might be like, you know what, I really just want to be by myself and I don't want to talk to anyone, but then for whatever reason this peaceful day that you had planned or that you had anticipated, it's not working out like that, and there are people around and there are things to do. I, in that instance, I guess have the tendency to run away, but I could act the way I want to feel and be like, even though this isn't what I wanted, this is where we're at, this is the situation now, I can act more sociable than I maybe intended to be. In the end, by acting that way, I will eventually feel more sociable and feel more connected, feel like it's okay to be around people, as opposed to, oh, I thought this day was just going to be a quiet day of me chilling or reading or doing whatever needs doing. Looking around, I've got so many things to sort through. I mean, I mentioned the paths thing, like which way do I want to go? Do I want to go fully like negative, this is awful, or do I want to try and be more, I guess, open-minded or more flexible? But the other thing that helps me in terms of like something that I imagine is, I imagine it like flicking a switch. So say plans have changed, and where I was going to meet someone at 2 o'clock, now they want to meet at 5 o'clock. And I can do that, but it's just, I like having a plan of what's happening. It takes me not forever to prepare for things, but I like to have an overview of the day, and I'm trying to be more, not standoffish, that's the wrong word. I'm trying to be more laid back, or like easy breezy, kind of like, sure, yeah, but I wish I was that kind of person, but I'm really not. I want to know what's happening and be able to like imagine how the day's gonna go, just logistically work everything out. But if I think of it like a switch, they say, oh, can you meet at 5 instead? I can't do 2. I'm like, this isn't what I thought, but I say, yep, sure, let's meet at 5 instead. And then it's like a switch has gone, where I don't have to be stewing in those feelings of like, oh, this is annoying, or I could have done something else at 2 o'clock now. I thought I was seeing them at 2, but now I'm not, and I've not got anything to do, or I could have done this thing, I did this, you know, I fit this into another day, which I didn't have to do because now I have more time than I thought. Like, probably getting a sense of, it's quite easy to spiral into those thoughts and kind of just like sit in that feeling of not being grumpy necessarily, but just like annoyance and like dissatisfaction. Very easy to get to that place very quickly. But if I imagine it like a switch going, instead of going into that kind of mindset of, oh my gosh, why did this have to happen? Instead being like, oh great, instead of 2 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock. I've freed up some time. What can I do with this time that I didn't realize I was gonna have? Cool, I've like made time. It sounds silly. And I am only talking about like little things like that, like someone needs to reschedule, or there's more going on than you had imagined, or you've not planned for something. Like, only these small things, these little examples illustrate the best that your mindset has a big impact. Like, I know you could pick like an example of like, you get like sports psychologists talking about how this team or this player is approaching the game. But even that, I'm like, it's a game. Like, there's no like big consequences there. But even if you think about like a big exam, something like your driving test, I guess, where your mindset is gonna have a role to play. You might be a very proficient driver, but if you're in your head a lot, or if you're not confident enough and you're thinking that you're not good enough, or you've not done enough practice, if you're going into it with that uneasy mindset and you're framing this test as such a big, tremendous deal, and like, it is a big deal to be able to safely drive by yourself, that's a responsibility, but it doesn't have to be this big scary thing. You could instead be going into that like focusing on the freedom of it or achieving something. That is like a big thing where you can see that mindset will play a role in how you behave in that situation. If you go into your driving test feeling confident versus feeling unsure and overwhelmed or intimidated by everything, it's going to play a role. But I think sometimes the smaller instances can be the best examples. At least for me, I find it is something small like that, where it's the way that I react to things not going to plan. That is going to determine like my mood for the day, or how I view the day is how I react in this little situation. It's not like the big things, it's the little situations, the small things, like they have a knock-on effect, like a domino effect for the rest of the day, and how I'm gonna feel, how I'm gonna deal with things. So I wanted to talk about this because I've been reminded of it over the past weekend. I'm filming this on Tuesday. You'll be seeing it tomorrow or Wednesday. Well, it's not tomorrow for you, it's now. Isn't time funny? I've just spilled my tea everywhere. Mindset is everything, and you do have the power to shift your reality solely by changing your mindset. You have the power to turn a bad day into a better day. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be if a friend bails on you or reschedules, choosing to go for a walk or use that time to go to the library or sit outside and read, as opposed to moping about it or being annoyed. I know it's difficult though, and sometimes it is warranted to be annoyed and to spend some time feeling disappointed or feeling whatever you're feeling. So I hope this has reminded you of the fact that you have the power to make a bad day better if you change your mindset. I will leave my video, the one mindset shift that will change your life, because I talk more about mindset in that video. And I will also leave my video, act the way you want to feel, because I did mention that earlier on as well. God bless, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.